Alright, good morning everybody. Tuesday, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. Very cold morning, relative to normal, but we'll talk about all that later. We're in the truck. We did a quick pre-trip and we're gonna roll. I think we gotta get fuel this morning. Night shift partner didn't get fuel last night, but she had a hell of a night, and I'll explain that as we go along too. And we don't have a good morning to get started with because the Blue Mountain is closed because of a windstorm last night that brought down a ton of trees. So lots to talk to you about today, plus my health issues that I'm not feeling good, and so we'll inform you of all of it as we go along. We're gonna get going here, and then we'll talk to you out on the road. So we left the shop, heading out 895 here to 309. The Blue Mountain, as of a few minutes ago, was closed. So a ton of trees came down on the Lehigh County side of the mountain. We had a pretty violent windstorm when the cold front came through yesterday. And so it's been closed now since about 1 o'clock last night, so it must be a real mess up there on that mountain. When they open it, I don't know. I'm going to have to get fuel. She did not fuel last night. I couldn't fuel at the end of my shift because they had a power outage at the gas station, and the diesel pumps weren't working, and so I couldn't fuel. And then I think she only ran 1 or 2 loads. She might have run 2 loads, and then all hell broke loose with the weather, and that was the end of her night, and I don't think she got a chance to fuel. So I'm going to see if I can fuel this morning, because I've got a Fogelsville, a Lansdale, and 2 Fogelsvilles, but I got to reroute through Lehighton to get to the turnpike, go down the tunnel to get to Allentown, which is going to add time to my day. And depending on how many times I have to do that is going to dictate whether I get all 4 of my loads or all 3 of my loads. And then to top it all off, I'm not feeling good. Not sick, but got some issues. My thyroid medication isn't doing its job, so my thyroid hormone levels are out of whack, which is making me fatigued and tired, and the depression that I have, and the intolerance to cold, all those things are symptoms of the problem with my medication not doing what it's supposed to be doing. So they upped it. They upped my dose, so now it's going to take a week or 2 till my body evens out and my thyroid gets to doing what it's supposed to do, and hopefully I'll feel better. So we'll see. Like I said, there's just a lot of stuff going on here, and I might have enough fuel to do everything today, but I'd rather not take the chance. With the detours, it's going to add time and miles, so I just want to go out with full tanks. So talk to you a little while longer here, see if the mountain's open yet. They have it closed right here at 895. You cannot go over the mountain, either need to go left or right. And it's still windy. It's going to be windy all day today. Cold too. It's only 28 degrees. Yesterday was 65, and now we're down to 28. Frigid cold, and wind chills and everything else again. I'll leave this on until we get up here to the corner, and you'll see where they have it closed, if it's still closed. I mean, hopefully they open it up, because it costs more money to run the extra distance on the turnpike, and it takes extra time, and it's extra miles, and it's just not been a good night for us. All the 8s that aren't going over to Reading are grounded because they can't go anywhere but over the mountain, and the mountain's closed. So just hasn't been a good night. The weather really screwed everything up. And yes, it is still closed. There's the cones. Then we're going to go in here and see if these fuel pumps are working now. See, we got a lot of rain too. Look at this runoff here. No, I can't get fuel here. We're gonna have to figure out a different place to get fuel. The diesel pumps aren't working yet. This is not going to be good. This is not gonna be good. See the cones there? So that means the diesel pumps aren't working. Oh, hopefully we have enough fuel to do what we need to do. Boy, oh boy. Alright, we'll talk to you when we get up to the well. Alright, so we are here loading. We detoured a few miles north to go to one of our alternate fuel stops. One that I had kind of forgotten about because they don't go north that much and don't fuel up there. Our bucket drivers fuel a lot that way because they go up to the coal mines. But we don't get up past the road that cuts into here all that often, so we don't fuel up there. So I had kind of forgotten about it. So it's about 3 miles up the road, so first detour of the day. But we got fuel, so we're good for fuel. Now all we got to do is finish loading this up, and before I leave, I'll check and see if they opened the mountain up. If they didn't open the mountain up, then I think I told you guys we're going to have to go 443 into Lehighton and then grab the turnpike up there at Mahoning Valley, run it through the tunnel down to Allentown, and then go to the Fogelsville plant that way. And if they still don't have it open, then we'll have to run back up the pike and then jump off and then go over to the well in the woods. And that's where it's going to eat up time because we're going way out of route to do that one. And if it's still not open, I'll have to backtrack and go all the way over there and get on the pike north of the tunnel and run down to Lansdale. So going to be a lot of time eaten if they don't open that Blue Mountain up. So we'll see what happens, but we're loading here and it's cold, it's windy, the sun is not doing much in the way of warming things up just yet. So we'll talk to you later once we get rolling. All right, so last check right when I got in the truck before I left, the Blue Mountain's still closed. Rumor has it they're going to open it soon, but I'm not going to take the chance of going down there because if I go down there and have to hook a left, then I got to go over to Bowmanstown and go north on 248 to get back to the turnpike. I mean, I could run down like 7th Street, MacArthur Road, or go through Slatington, but that's even worse than going over to the turnpike, the traffic lights and hills and everything else. Plus, that's the way they want us to go. If the mountain is closed, they usually want us to just run this 443 across to Lehighton and jump on the pike and try to make as quick work of the extra miles as we can. So this is the way we'll go. And hopefully, by the time we get down there and deliver this, they'll open the mountain back up. We can come back up the normal way to get to the well in the woods. Because like I said, if we have to come up the turnpike to get to the well in the woods, that is going to really add some time to the day and to the trip. So hopefully we open it up somewhere along the line between now and then. But I don't know if I told you about my night shift partner's adventure. I guess she got caught up in that storm when the cold front came through, and they said there were anywhere from like 50 to 70 mile an hour winds in that storm with super heavy rain. It was like a squall line, and she got caught in that, and she said it was a blinding rain that she couldn't see, and the wind was so strong hitting her from the left coming up 309 that she thought this thing was going to blow over on her. She actually stopped and parked it, waited it out, but then in the interim, while she stopped to wait it out, and probably lucky she did, because had she tried to go up over that mountain in that storm, she might have got hit by some of the tree branches. But as it were, and once she was able to go again, she went up over that mountain, but she said she could only do 10 miles an hour, and she was zigzagging all over the place from fog line to fog line, trying to avoid the downed trees. So it must have really been bad up in there. She said it was like a war zone. There were so many trees down and wires down, and everything. But she got up and over it before they closed it. But now it's been closed since about midnight. So 9 hours, almost 10 hours that mountain been closed. So it must have really been a mess up there. Welcome to the southern end of Lehighton. We are not in the borough center, as it were. This is the southern edge of it, where 443 runs in. And up here on the other side of this traffic light, we will cross the Lehigh River and join US 209. I think 443 ends here, actually, the route number designation. And then we'll jump on the turnpike a few miles up the road there. Hopefully we hold this light. I want to show you a little bit of this area here without getting too hung up, but traffic looks pretty heavy. This is why... Oh, no, the light changed on us. Go figure. There's the bridge. You can probably see it through the trees, but we'll take a break until the light turns green. All right, light turned green. Now we'll go across the bridge. There's a light on the other side where 248 comes into this mix mash. And the Lehigh River looks like it's up high. We had a lot of rain yesterday. Look at that thing flowing. Wow. I don't think it's at flood stage, but it's up pretty high. So 248 cuts off down to Palmerton, but we're going to go to the turnpike. The only way we would take 248 was if we were going over to the Allentown Airport. If we went down 248, we'd have to either go down 145 MacArthur Road, or we'd have to hook a right, go through Slatington, and that's a complicated jungle in there of left turns, right turns, city traffic, and everything else. So we're just going to go this way. This is the preferred way. This is the way the boss man always tells us to go when there's a problem on the mountain. So it is the fastest and best way to go when we have to do the detour. Like about 2 miles now from this point to the turnpike, and then we get on, go through the tunnel, and so forth and so on. But I'm going to have to make a phone call here shortly, because somebody did try to call me. I got to dig my phone out of my pocket and see who it was, and call them back if necessary. Alright, so here we are on the pike. And right lane closed. It says two-way traffic through tunnel, so they must have one of the two bores closed off. They're probably shifting us over into the northbound tunnel bore for some reason or another. Maybe they're replacing tiles or cleaning it up or whatever the case may be, but right lane closed half a mile. Let's get ourselves over there while we have a chance. Car coming up behind me doesn't like it. That's too bad. Traffic going to be slowing down anyway, so see what it is that they're doing here. Like I said, most likely they're going to be shifting traffic over into that northbound lane. There is crossovers on either side of the tunnel bore for when they have to do that. As it were, I don't know that I've ever showed you coming into this tunnel from the northbound side. I've showed it a few times coming up from Allentown, but I don't think I showed you the entrance to the tunnel on this side. But it's not a normal day. Yep, crossover, 500 feet. Exactly what they're doing. So they're going to be tight in here. And they're running us through the old bore. Years ago, this was only a single bore tunnel. And about probably close to 40 years ago, they started constructing the second bore. So for years, the turnpike was a freeway until you got to the tunnel, and then you merged down into this, and this was a normal traffic pattern to run two ways through. Yeah, we are in the old bore. The oval bore is the new one that they did 40 years ago. This one is the original one. So this is the way it used to be under normal conditions. It was to two-lane it through the tunnel here. Now you see how close the traffic is. especially when a truck comes by here. There's not much room for error in here. And like I said, this was the normal pattern before they built that second bore. And boy, did it jam up on the weekends. And everybody was coming home to the Lehigh Valley from the Pocono vacations and stuff. Man, oh man, the traffic back up on the north side of that tunnel where we just came in was like 5, 6, 7 miles long, because everything filtered down into one lane, obviously, to come through here. Which is why they built the second tunnel, to alleviate that traffic problem. Coming out the other side. It is 1 mile from entrance to exit. That's how long the tunnel is. Kind of cool. I wasn't going to show you coming through the tunnel, but when I saw that they had done this, I figured I'd show it to you, because even that's unique to the day, which is going to probably be unique all day long. Alright, so we are parked off to the side waiting our turn. There's only 2 usable pumps right now down here, so we had to wait because 2 trucks were here. One's going to be leaving, so we'll be moving over there shortly. This is going to be a day of delays, I believe. And it's cold out. Man, oh man, is it cold out. But anyway, yeah, he should be leaving any minute, and then we'll be moving over there. Alright, so both of those guys left at the exact same time, so we were able to take the better pump, the one that works the best and we have less troubles with. So I'm on the good pump. About 10 to 15 minutes we should be out of here and on our way up to get that load that goes down to Lansdale. However, 309 over to Blue Mountain is still closed. Our owner-operator had called somebody to find out what the status was of it, and they said it may not open till 3, 4 o'clock this afternoon. So whatever happened up there must have been really, really bad. I don't know if a tornado had spun up in that squall line or what, but it wreaked some havoc on that mountain. So we're going to have to go back up the pike to go over to the well in the woods, and then have to come back across and go down the pike, the extra exit to go down to Lansdale. Going to really eat up some time today. So we'll see how it all goes, but I think load number 4 went out the window. Ah, man, I'm telling you, what a day. All right, so we're back where we were at the Lehighton Bridge that I showed you earlier in the video. Now, if we were going to go back to the Tamaqua well, we would go straight across the bridge here. But since we got to go to the well in the woods, we have got to drop down 248 here to 895 and then run 895 all the way across. And something tells me that we're going to have to wait until we get an arrow. Yeah, we're going to have to hold back here. That one will be able to go. Yep, see, there it goes. Turns red. Stop recording. All right. A lot of traffic here at this intersection, as you can see. I thought it was about to turn green for us, but there's a long arrow for that northbound 248 traffic. Then southbound off of that Canal Street there started to go. So we still got the red light here for a moment. No, there we go. Now we got the arrow. Now let's see how many. Oh, I thought that black Jeep was going to try to get out there ahead of me, but yeah, we got to go down 248 here, maybe 3-4 miles, and then get off at 895 and take that westbound for quite a few miles till we get out there to the well in the woods. So we'll show you that little turn too. That's what I mean by this eating up so much time compared to coming up 100 to 309 to 895, because we're actually going southbound now. So it's kind of messed up, but it's the only way to do it. All right, so we're coming up on our exit here, and actually this one isn't quite so bad. Wait till you see what we got to do. If we got to come this way to go down to the Lansdale customer, wait till you see what we got to do to pull that one off. We got to be on the other side over there by the houses. Here we just jump off and we're right on 895, but we got to cross over and then run through a little bit of Bowmanstown over there to get back onto what's going to be the ramp to get on 248. So, yeah, all because of that storm last night. We got to do this crazy ordeal here. And then we'll cross the Lehigh River here and go through, I think this is called West Bowman's. On that side is Bowmanstown. I think this side is West Bowman's. I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me. But it's a pretty bumpy road in a truck too. So now we got the long ride across 895 to get over there to the well in the woods. Here we're going to cross the turnpike. We went under the turnpike on 248. Now we're going to go over it on this road. So quite a bit of backtracking to get to this point. So, all right, at this point, I guess we'll just talk to you when we get out there. Well, you know what? We'll probably show you the 309 crossing if it's still blocked off. Well, I was hoping that nobody would be here because this day is going to end up being long enough with the detours and sitting and waiting down at the Fogelsville plant. But now somebody is in here. I know who it is. It's my buddy, the one that's usually in here. Now, maybe he's done, maybe he's not. Something tells me he might have just started. I don't know, because I see he's got the sanitizer bottle in his hand. So we will see. We will see if he just started, and we've got a full half hour to wait and then 20 minutes to load ours up. So we're going to be here almost an hour just to get loaded if he just started. Alright, well, the other guy was just about done when I got here. In fact, by the time I walked back to the truck, I think it was only about a minute or two, and the pump shut off for him, so we were able to unhook and transfer it right over to mine. So we're loading as we speak. He's rolling out the driveway there, if you can still see him over my shoulder. So we only had to wait here maybe 2-3 minutes and then hooked up and started. So it was much better than I thought. I was worried that he had just gotten here. When I seen him walking back with the sanitation bottle, I thought he had just sprayed the hose in the inlet and just hooked up and started, and we would have been here in a half hour before we could have even started loading. So that worked out much better than what I thought. So we're loading up here, and when we go out, we'll see if 309 is still closed. If it is, then we'll go all the way out there to Bowmanstown to 248 and get up on the turnpike and run it that way. All right, so we're loaded, we're rolling, we're coming up here to 309, and I can see the cones in the roadway. That means that the mountain is still closed. Now, the storms rolled through sometime between 9 and 11 o'clock last night. And it is 1 p.m. right now, and the road is still closed. So this road has been closed for 12 hours now. So it must have really been bad up there. That's the only thing I could think of. How bad must it have been on that mountain for it to still be closed 12 hours later? I haven't seen any pictures yet. I kind of looked a little bit, but usually people post stuff on Facebook. But I haven't seen any pictures yet from up there of what it was like. But it just had to be really bad, because there's been other times where trees have come down on that mountain and it's closed for maybe 3 or 4 hours, and then they get it opened back up. It's been closed for over 12 hours already. So I don't know what kind of swirled up when that front went through. Maybe a little tornado. I mean, I don't know. Or it was, somebody had said 70 to 80 mile an hour straight line winds. So I guess that could have brought a lot down. But whatever it was pretty bad. So, but anyway, we got to go over to Bowmanstown and get on the pike that way. And so we're just adding more and more time to the day. And hopefully we can get down there before 3 o'clock. And then we won't have an issue with backing in down there. All right, so there we are where we just crossed the turnpike again. Like we did when we were going back to get this load. We're in West Bowman's, and you'll see what we need to do to get on the 248. I believe it's west, kind of north but west. Those container trucks are going to go toward Palmerton. We need to go up toward Lehighton. So what we need to do is make a right turn here where this van's pulling out of. As soon as we get off this bridge that crosses the river, we got to make a right turn. It's a little bit more complicated than it was getting off of 248 on the 895. Don't know why they designed it this way, but they did. Kind of messed up a little bit, because then we'll cross over 248 here, and I should have put the other camera on, but I didn't. Sometimes editing up both of them is a little more work than I really want to do. So yeah, we're crossing 248 right now, and we'll come up to this stop sign, we'll make a left. So now we're in Bowmanstown proper. The other side is West Bowman's. So all three ways, all four ways stop. So it's a four-way stop sign, basically. Oh, jeez. Nothing but bumps. Nothing but bumps. So we go through a little bit of the town here. This is what I mean by it's kind of messed up. You gotta work for it to get on the 248 westbound. And then this will turn in to the ramp to get onto the freeway. It's two-way up here to this last house, and then it's one-way. And actually, I will turn this camera on. So after all that, now we're finally going to get out here on the 248. And I don't remember how much of a... there is not much of a get-on ramp here. I didn't think there was, but I wasn't sure. Not much of an acceleration ramp. Anyway, now we're back on 248. And when we get up there to 209, then we got to make a 90-degree right-hand turn. So, this is kind of a messed up, time-consuming deal today. And now we're coming up here to the end of 248, and where we have to make the right to get on the 209 here at the bridge that we crossed earlier this morning, or this afternoon, or whenever it was. I'm losing track of time. And now, I guess we'll have to wait a little bit here. I don't know when that traffic is going to get moving. Little pothole. It looks like you could make a right turn on red, but there's so much traffic coming off that bridge, it's best just to wait. But now this isn't going to be easy because that dude over there in that pickup truck is way beyond the stop line. Hopefully when the light turns red for that guy, he's going to go. And I bet he isn't. Nope. I'm going to make him back up. I'm gonna make him back up. You're gonna back up, buddy. You gotta keep backing up. You gotta keep backing up. You gotta keep backing up. There we go. All right. All right, folks, you know where we are, our favorite place. And And I mean that kind of facetiously. I don't mind the run down here, but I just don't like what we have to do when we do get here. Although, I think we're going to be all right. Lose this seat belt. Try not to scare this lady walking. I see where we need to go. The more difficult one. See if we can get it in one shot. Let's see if we can get it in one shot. Probably not. Probably gonna need to pull her forward a little bit, but at least we get her off the street in one shot. Oh, maybe we will. Let's see how we do here. Let's see how we do here. Ah, yeah. One shot, baby, one shot. One shot at glory. There we are. All right, so we're dropped, and we're standing in this little bus shelter / smoking shelter or whatever it is that they have here, trying to block some of the wind because it's still windy, not anything like it was last night. And I just got a message from my night shift partner. She said she used to work for PennDOT before she came here. She drove a triaxle dump, or one of their dump trucks, and plowed snow and stuff before she came here. So she knows some of the people there. And they think that some kind of small-scale tornado whipped up when that cold front came through and hit that mountain. And she happened to drive right through it because she, like I told you earlier, that she had to actually stop because she thought, first of all, she couldn't see. It was raining so hard. And second of all, she thought that the truck was going to tip over. And that's pretty impressive if it felt that way in a tanker truck, because the tankers usually don't have too much of a problem with the wind. And I was wondering that myself, if maybe something had spun up, because they said that that was possible in that line of storms, that there could be some spin-ups and some small tornadoes. And the PennDOT guys think that might be what happened. So I don't know if the National Weather Service is going to send anybody out to survey the damage and see what caused all of it there. A lot of times they do if there's a considerable amount of trees down, wires down, power outages, whatnot. So we'll have to see if National Weather Service sends anybody up to analyze what went through there. But it sounded like it was pretty nasty. And she says the mountain's still closed. I didn't look at Google Maps yet. I will. And I'm going to have to somehow try to figure out how to look at them before I get to the Allentown interchange to see if I have to go all the way up the Mahoning Valley again, or if I can get off Allentown and go up 309. So I don't know, but well over 12 hours that highway been shut down, so it must have been a mess. All right, so as I told you, the Blue Mountain on 309 is still closed. We just got off the Mahoning Valley exit again. I was going to show it to you because it's kind of a neat view when you come down around through the rocks and stuff, but the wife called and kind of messed up that sequence, so figured I'd just turn it on here. And if you look at those clouds ahead of us, how fuzzy they are on the bottom. I think there's some snow showers. I don't know if we'll see any on 443 going across back to Tamaqua, but those clouds, I believe they have some snow showers in them just by the fuzzy bottom look to them. We're going to need this left lane to go across the bridge. So, yeah, what a day. I mean, it's just been quite a day. I had to fuel at a different location, run different routes. It just messed up. Yep, it is snowing. It is a snow shower, at least down here. Not real heavy yet, but it is snow showering. It's only 34 degrees out. I told you how it got cold again. but that cloud is awfully dark. Whoever's under the darkest part of that cloud, the way it looks, I mean, that has a summer thunderstorm look to it. Somebody probably getting some heavy snow. I just don't know exactly where it is. It could be at the well, it could be up at Tamaqua Borough, or it could be up in Hazelton, but somebody probably getting some serious heavy snow out of that thing. All right, so we made it here. We're loading. You can see the snow flying. Got ourselves a little snow shower, snow squall working on us right now. It's not sticking to anything. It's 34, 35 degrees. The sun was out. Ground's a little on the warm side right now, but yeah, we got some snowfall, and then one of them lake effect squalls, I guess. I'm gonna look at radar once I'm done talking to you. And I don't know if I lollygag a little bit. One of our drivers called me. He was down there fueling up. One fuel lane's open at our normal fuel stop too. He said it looked like they were about getting ready to open up the mountain. So maybe, and we lollygag here just a little bit, we'll be able to go down over the mountain instead of going over to the turnpike and through Lehighton and all that traffic mess again. But now the sun's trying to come out. It's snowing harder than it had before, but now the sun's trying to come out. So what a crazy day this has been, man, I'm telling you. All right, so we are loaded and rolling, and I was checking Google Maps out every like 30 seconds trying to I wish they'd open that thing up. I really don't want to go back over to Lehighton again. I'd like to just run our normal route down, but it isn't open yet, and I know how it would play out. I could take the chance and run down 309 toward 895 and see if they open it up before I get there. If they don't, then I'm going to have to hook a left, go 895, and then go through Bowmanstown like I showed you with the funky left turn and right turn and all that stuff. And the more direct, just take 443 across. But then the opposite side of that is no sooner do I turn on the 443, and they probably open that road up, and then I could have went down. So it's a catch-22 I'm in right now. I could win, or I could lose by going down 895 or going down 309 and trying it. The other day when I took 22 across, I won. That doesn't happen too often. There was a better call than going across 248 through Palmerton, but that doesn't happen too often, so I don't know if I would win if I went down 309. They open the mountain up like right before I get there. It would be really awesome, but I guess it's best not to take the chance. So just shoot across 443, jump on the pike, run down, and then maybe by the time we're done unloading, they'll open it up and I'll have an easier ride back up. So we will see. But making our way down here to the light, and I'm getting tired, and it's just one of those days. It feels a lot longer than it actually was. It's only 4:23 right now, and it feels like it was 12 hours long instead of 8 hours long. So it's how it goes sometimes, but the detours, going the extra miles and extra time, I guess, is making it feel longer than it actually is. But another good squall starting to close in here on the west side of the Lehigh Valley. Look at that cloud structure up there. Blue skies to the left and kind of grayness to the right, and the edge of the squall itself there straight ahead of us. Pretty interesting. Keep forgetting, usually when I come off the turnpike, I don't have to move over one because I'm going to get off 100 north. In this case, I got to move over one because I got to get off 100 south, and actually it is snowing here already. I don't know how heavy some of these squalls are going to be, but this is the kind of stuff that you got to watch out for, and how you end up in those 80, 90, 100 car pileups, because people fail to recognize the clouds, and if you look at the horizon, you can see that you're losing mountains. You're losing scenery. It's getting misty and gray, and when you see that, it's a signal that it's raining or snowing and your visibility's going down. But I guess people don't understand that, and they go flying 70 miles an hour straight into a zero visibility moment, and that's that. So, but yeah, coming down pretty good here too. I thought so. When I was coming off the pike, it looked like a pretty heavy dark cloud that was up this way, and it didn't take long to get into it. Under normal conditions, I would get off the pike coming up from Lansdale and jump off here the 100 North exit for Fogelsville, but in this case I got to do south to Trexlertown. People are braking, probably to get off the exit, not because of the visibility or slippery roads or anything like that. And what I do, right or wrong, is there's no signs that say we can't be in the left lane on this ramp. Since I need the left lane down further to make a left to go into the road that takes us to the plant, I just take this left lane right from this ramp. Puts me in the left lane out there on 100, and we are good to go. But we're gonna have to stop because we got the red light. Which is okay. So I guess the only thing left is to wonder, what's it like down at the plant? Is it moving along pretty good, or are we in a one-at-a-time situation? Alright, so we're down here unloading. We had to get a new wash ticket updated. This tanker was this is the one I took out there last week, and driver last night picked it up and took it down to Lansdale this morning. So I had to update it in the system here in Fogelsville before I could unload. So that's taken care of. We are unloading, and I just got word, and I looked at Google Maps, and the Blue Mountain is now open. I don't have to go back up the turnpike and through Lehighton to get home. Finally, I will turn the camera on when I start climbing that mountain and see if there's any residual damage that will be visible to you guys. They got all the road cleaned up, but there might be debris laying along the sides of the road until they get all that hauled away. Unless they did everything in one shot, and there's going to be no evidence at all that anything even happened up there. But I'll have to dig up some pictures if there are any and show you what it looked like. And the sky looks really cool right now with the cloud structures the way they are, and you can see all that fuzziness where there's snow showers coming out of them. Some of them are reaching the ground, some of it looks like it's Virga, but you can definitely see the wispy veil-like structure underneath the clouds of the falling snow. It's really kind of cool, and I don't know, it might look even better up further. I keep wanting not make this video too long, and it keeps turning out that I keep turning the camera on because there's so much unique and strange stuff today. So as best as what my night shift partner was telling me, it was somewhere in here where she had driven into the meat of that storm, because it was coming from west to east and she was going up this way. And she said the rain hit so hard and the wind hit so hard that she was nearly blind and couldn't see anything, and it felt like it was going to blow the truck over. I guess tip it over there to the farm fields. I don't know if it was up here on top of the hill or down here toward the bottom, but she pulled off onto the shoulder. She was so scared that the truck was going to get blown onto its side that she parked. And then I guess once it subsided, she started to go again. And she got up over this mountain through all the debris and whatever else was on the ground. She was able to navigate and wind her way through it and get up over. But she said it was a experience that she'll never forget. So I don't know. I'll have to see what it looks like up here. Like I said, they may have cleaned everything up super good, and there's no evidence of it at all because, you know, it was closed for 14 hours, so they might not have left any debris behind at all. I don't know exactly where all the trees had come down, but it was this side of the mountain. This is the Lehigh County side of the mountain. She said this was the bad side. She said once she got up over the top, there was no problem. So the winds must have just ripped on this side for some reason and just brought a whole bunch of stuff down. So, I mean, I see stuff laying along the edge, but I don't remember what's old and what might be new. And, of course, the sun is out full force right now. We were cloudy a lot of the way up here, but now the sun is going to be out full force. So I don't see any, well, maybe, I don't know. I don't see much of anything laying around. Oh, up here, right, we get past this truck, I can see some fresh wood. No. Yeah, must have been in this area up here towards the top. Maybe. Like I said, I can't tell. There's so much dead wood in Pennsylvania's forests. You see all the stuff that's laying on the ground. I don't know what's new and what's old, but wherever the problem was, I'm really not seeing anything. I don't know if it was up here at the top or if it was down there at the bottom. But 14 hours this thing was closed. This is where I thought it would have been because it's so open to our left, and the wind could have come right across that valley and slammed into the side of the mountain here. So this is where I kind of thought it was, but maybe it wasn't. I don't know where it might have been. But you'd never know anything happened looking at it. All right, we're up to the top. Don't see anything that was remarkable. All right, we're done. We're parked. Got our paperwork finished up. All we got to do now is post-trip walk around, and we're gonna head home. I didn't see anything notable on the mountain. 14 hours closed, and they cleaned that up to the point where you can't even tell anything happened. So no doubt that it was bad. It wouldn't have been closed that long if it wasn't, because like I told you, it's a major thoroughfare between the Lehigh Valley and Interstate 80, but there was no trace of whatever transpired last night. They did a heck of a job cleaning it up and getting it back to normal. But anyway, we'll talk to you in the next one.